beyond what is absolutely necessary to defend U.S. personnel and interest. Hey, Bob, how about this? Why aren't you as upset with Joe Biden and his administration and what they have done to our domestic oil policy? Now, you said there's nothing that can be done. And granted, it has taken us really going back into the whole COVID pandemic and the money that even the Donald Trump administration poured out there that, we were going in the red to send out those checks. Biden continues to do it. It's taken us 2 years to get to the worst inflation in 40 years. Mm-hmm. It's going to take at least that long to dig out of it. The one thing that we had possibly going for us is not only energy independence, but we could have actually been an energy exporter to the point that we could have begun to whittle away a little bit of this debt that we have, this tremendous debt that we have. And listen, nobody is as stupid as Joe Biden appears to be and his administration appears to be. You cannot be this stupid. You have to be doing this deliberately.
And what's so bad about it is the people in power from a monetary policy standpoint. You've got Fed Chairman Powell. His name escapes me, right?
Jerome
Powell. And then Janet Yellen, which is our Secretary of the Treasury.
Janet Yellen.
Yeah. Well, for the last 2 years, every time numbers comes out, they act surprised.
Yeah.
And we're in a place that we've only been one time in my lifetime, and probably
post Jimmy Carter.
Actually, probably only one time in your lifetime, because
this bad.
Because prior to that, we're talking 1929, and.
But really, the bad inflation, because remember when Jerry Ford had his whip inflation now,
mm-hmm.
and they had price controls under Nixon and Ford, and then it really got bad when Jimmy Carter got in there.
Right.
But so basically, you're talking about from about the early 70s, almost 10 years, until Ronald Reagan got in there, and it even took him a couple of years to turn that thing around. But You're talking about pretty much the decade of the 70s was when inflation really was bad the last time around.
But the problem to me is you look at the people at the wheel, not only the elected people at the wheel, but the people they appoint. You're looking at lifetime educators, lifetime people that they're
have never run a business.
They've never done anything but either work for a campaign, and they're getting repaid for all their hard work on campaigns for decades.
Can you say our Secretary of State?
Yeah, and working in education. No one with any practical experience, and it scares the heck out of me.
Never had to make a paycheck. Never had to cut a paycheck. Our listeners know this already. I'll go over the numbers. In 2022, food prices have gone through the roof. Eggs up 97%, vegetables up 40%, turkeys up 38%, pasta up 34%. Pasta, that was the dirt cheap meal you'd have, right? Pasta up 34%, grains up 30%, fresh fruit up 20%, dairy products up 18%, baked goods up 14%. The overall food index rose 11.2% compared to the same month last year. It rose 1% or 12% annually in August alone.
Well, I always said that if I could ever get out of college, I would never eat oodles and noodles again. But I don't know.
We might be going for that. The other thing is, look, listen, I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I'm constantly reminding my wife, buy a little extra so we can store it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do not know what is going to happen. So bobblehead Biden came up with this today. Quote, Americans are squeezed by the cost of living. That's been true for years, and they didn't need today's report to tell them that. Fighting the global inflation that is affecting countries around the world and working families here at home is my top priority. If Republicans take control of Congress, everyday costs will go up, not down. What a delusional individual.
Well, and here's someone that has spent the last 50 years just living in a bubble, living in that D.C. bubble. And, he always throws that lunch pail Joe.
Yeah,
that
I'm a common blue-collar
that he's from
guy.
Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Delaware and all this kind of stuff. He's just another Washington, D.C. lifetime person that just he's never had to worry about anything.
Nope. So how is this going to affect the election? Well, as you can imagine, it's going to affect it pretty severely, and not good news for Democrats. Americans are not blaming Vladimir Putin. They're blaming Joe Biden. A new Rasmussen poll found that 60% believe the president's policies are to blame for increased inflation. Only 13% think the White House has been successful in its bid to decrease inflation. What's more, the survey found that 84% of those polled think soaring prices will be important in their vote. That includes 77% of Democrats. The poll finds that 89% of likely U.S. voters are concerned about inflation, including 64% who are very concerned, just 11% who aren't concerned about the issue. I don't know where those people have been living. Researchers for the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas put out a report that calculates real wages, which is income adjusted for inflation. Quote, we find that a majority of employed workers' real inflation-adjusted wages have failed to keep up with the inflation in the past year. For these workers, the median decline in real wages is a little more than 8.5%. Taken together, these outcomes appear to be the most severe faced by employed workers over the past 25 years. So basically, you look at your income from 2021, assuming you didn't get a raise at the beginning of this year, and not too many people got an 8.5% raise. If you are making the same amount as you did in 2021, no, you're not. You're actually making 8.5% less.
Yeah.
That's significant. I mean, on $100,000, that's, $8,500.
And people at the, at the lower end of the income part of our economy that really, truly, live month to month, they're struggling. They're struggling a lot more, obviously, because those inflation numbers that you just talked about are so much higher on those things than they are. The overall numbers are really misleading by a long shot. And, a lot of us, we won't like 25, 30%, 40% increases in food. I mean, but at the same time, I'm not at the end of the week going to be saying, gosh, we can't make ends meet. But there's an awful lot of people.
A lot of people who cannot make ends meet. There are a lot of people that live paycheck to paycheck. so $8,500 if you're making $100,000. If you're making $50,000, that's $4,250. That is probably what you spend. If you're in that category, you probably spend a little bit more than that over the period of a year on your groceries. But that is a situation. If you're making $50,000 and you're a family of four, you are living paycheck to paycheck, and something has got to give. We laughed about Roman noodles, but there's going to be people looking at what do we eat this week, dear? It's sad. It is sad.
And, to your point on those polling numbers, I think America, Democrats and Republicans, are seeing through the BS that keeps coming out of this White House. And it's even spun in the mainstream media. At some point, they've got to look themselves in the mirror and say, we're the only ones pushing this narrative. Everyone's smart enough to know what they're paying for.
I can't believe there's that many people in journalism that are that corrupt, that are that much, that there are prostitutes. I mean, I realize there's people out there that say, okay, in order to keep my place in my career path, I've got to kowtow to people telling me what to do. But it's hard to believe that, do they look themselves in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you for what you're doing?
Yeah. And, just before we went on air, excuse me, I went to just kind of do a website update to just see if they've changed what they're reporting. Every one of them There was one website, I think it was ABC or CBS, they had the Social Security increase fairly close to the top, but it was still buried in the middle of things. Some of them you couldn't even find anything about inflation reports today. No. All about Donald Trump is going to be subpoenaed. Yeah. Donald Trump on January 6th. I mean, you have got to be kidding me. I'm telling you, America does not give a damn about that.
We're going to get to that story. We got to take a break. Stay with us. More news and views coming up.
Reserve your ride before it's gone at Greenville Toyota. A huge Toyota shipment is here. Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, Tundras, and more. Reserve the one you want now. Plus, you'll always get paid to trade at Greenville Toyota. Hurry in. Click greenvilletoyota.com.
Pirate fans, it's a key American Conference showdown Saturday the 15th as your East Carolina football team welcomes the Memphis Tigers to Greenville. Tickets are as low as $35 in the upper deck and just $50 in the lower bowl. The 2022 Hall of Fame class will be recognized, including pro golfer Harold Varner and former Pirate quarterback Marcus Crandall. It's also homecoming at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium, so tickets are going fast. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com to get your tickets today.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You know that moment when you realize your hair color is way past its prime? Or that you need a change and you hope it comes in the form of perfectly sun-kissed highlights? And at Fantastic Sam's, we offer real salon services at real people prices. Our color specialists can do it all. They make grays disappear, layer in subtle highlights, or help you finally find that perfect shade of red. All for real reasonable prices.
A huge Toyota shipment just arrived at Greenville Toyota, and more are coming. Reserve your ride now and get the Greenville Advantage with no-cost maintenance, oil changes, free loaners, car washes, tire rotations, and more at greenvilletoyota.com.
This is such an evil force undermining our country right now.
With the midterms fast approaching,
People are panicking when they see that the prices in the supermarket are this high and the gasoline is this high.
a lot of people are talking.
It's unbelievable what we watch it. This gender tyranny going on.
His mental capacity is absolutely diminished.
It's Marx's destruction of the family.
And you're invited to join the conversation.
We're in a world of hurt in this country.
Let your voice be heard this November. Register to vote now at vote.gov from Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Welcome back in. It is National M&M Day.
Like is in the snack?
Like in the candy. M&M. Not the wrapper, but the candy. Taking a look at your weather forecast, a high of 75. I think we got higher than that today. I was looking at the gauge on the way in. It looked like it was up in the low 80s, so it got warm today. Tonight, some showers linger, then clearing skies. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, a high of 73. Tomorrow night, a low of 47. Saturday for game day with the Pirates here in Greenville will be 77 degrees and light winds. What time's game time? I think it's at 7 o'clock? 6:30? It's a night game.
It's 7:30,
7:30.
Yeah, 7:30.
Saturday night for sometime at the end of the game, it should get down into the mid to lower 50s with clear skies. So all in all, not bad. Needed the rain today. Weather brought to you by our friends at the Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Whether you're looking to spend your fall courtside or greenside, Ironwood Golf and Country Club offers a variety of memberships tailored to fit your lifestyle with no initiation fee required. Headed to the beach, pack your clubs. Ironwood members receive reciprocal golf and dining privileges at the Beaufort Club in Beaufort and Compass Point Golf Club and Magnolia Greens located near Wilmington. For more information, contact Membership Director Jenna Doyle. Her number's 252-752-4653. Join in the fun at Ironwood today, a part of the Renaissance Golf Group. It is Political Trivia Day. We're going to be playing a little bit your category Presidential Fashions. 561-8255. Ken from Stella, North Carolina, has been waiting patiently. Hey, Ken.
Hello, Ken.
Hey, how are you guys? Nice talking to you, Tom and Benny. Wanted to give you a real-life man-on-the-street report. I've been going to breakfast with some guys once a week for the last 3-4 years or so, and we've been paying like $6.99 or something for a couple of eggs, some sausage, grits, that kind of thing.
Right, reasonable price.
About a month ago, it went up $1, $7.99. Today I go in and have breakfast. It's gone up another $2, $9.99.
Wow.
If that ain't inflation, Joe Biden is smart. I mean, if anybody can tell me that prices aren't going up, they don't live here in the United States, I'll tell you.
Well, it's interesting you say that. There's a group of guys I get together with for lunch on Mondays. We've been going to one particular restaurant, and in all honesty, they just said, this is getting too expensive.
Yes.
For a sandwich and a drink when you pay $13-14. And I'm noticing that, and listen, I don't blame the restaurants. I mean, that's what it's costing them. But you're seeing less people. I mean, at this one particular restaurant we're going to, it's pretty obvious that there are less people showing up at lunchtime. I mean, where it used to be a fairly long line that you'd have to wait 10 minutes to place your order, now you just walk right in. So, yeah, I hear you, Ken.
Yeah, our guys, we talked about that today, and the waitresses need the job. They need the tips. We talked about maybe trying some other place, and we said, nope, we're not going to do it. We're going to keep supporting this guy. He's got to raise the prices based on what he's getting, and, there's nothing we can do about it. That's what we're going to do. We're fighting this thing by continuing to support folks who try to make a living under these really adverse conditions that we have with the current government that we have,
Bingo. Ken, you're a good man.
Yeah.
Thanks for
listening, too,
Thanks
Ken.
for listening, and thanks for the support for your local business friend and the waitresses. I mean, that's...
You got, they need, these are people that are out actually working instead of sitting at home and taking a damn government check. And, because that's why the labor participation rate is so, they're still funneling money in from all this COVID crap and everything else.
Yep.
And that's why why they can go out and claim that the employment numbers are great. They're just absolutely wonderful. And, the only reason is because the government's still sending money in to keep these people at home and not work.
Bingo.
So
Bingo.
yeah.
Yeah, and then the next time you think, go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, I love the people that get out there and work, because that's what America's all about.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ken. Good
Thanks,
words.
Ken.
All right.
Carolina Journal is reporting on the safest cities to drive.
It can't be Greenville.
It's not Greenville, but surprisingly, let's see. Overall,
I want to see. Let me just.
What do you think the number one city in the United States was?
Oh, in the United States.
Yeah.
I would probably say.
I was shocked when I saw that.
I would probably say maybe somewhere like Minneapolis.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh.
Which means Minneapolis must be really bad.
Wow.
Yeah, it was from Wallet Hub. They had a bunch of different criteria. Cost of ownership, traffic infrastructure, safety, access to vehicle maintenance. Anyway, they gave him a total score. Raleigh came in first. Greensboro, North Carolina came in fourth. Winston-Salem came in fifth.
In the United States?
Out of the United States,
Wow.
yeah. Raleigh, Plano, Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas, Greensboro, North Carolina, and Winston-Salem. So, interestingly.
And I wonder if some of that's volume of traffic as well. You got some major highways that coming through. I don't know if that was a part of the metrics or not, but
infrastructure was part of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's pretty good roads in North Carolina.
They are, but I mean, if it's the amount of traffic, I mean, have you driven through Raleigh lately at drive time?
It's tough. I try to avoid it. I try to go early in the morning.
Exactly. I mean, if you're going through Raleigh between 8 and 9 o'clock, get ready for bumper-to-bumper traffic. So, and you can have it. I know a lot of people like to go to the big city like Barney, but you can have it.
That's where Barney goes to party.
Yeah.
Corner room at the Y.
So Ted Budd was endorsed by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I think he mentioned that yesterday when we had him on the air. They also endorsed David Rouser. Interesting on this. This is out of the Carolina Journal today. Planned Parenthood said they were going to pour $5 million into North Carolina races, and basically they're going to hit on the abortion issue again.
And here you go. Abortion is not a big part of our business at Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, me.
But the other thing is that I immediately thought about this is I don't know what the check is. I think the last time I looked, the last government check from the feds to Planned Parenthood, I believe, was $600 million. I mean, it's some astronomical figure.
Yeah, it seemed like I remember that.
And they have announced that they're going to dump $50 million in races across the United States.
So they're taking the budget of the federal government and choosing what candidates they want to run for. That's what it boils down to.
And it's a Ponzi scheme.
Yep.
You've got Democrats that say we need to support Planned Parenthood, and they pull out the violins and tell you how terrible it is that we take away this money that's supporting women's health. And you probably got a couple of yokels like Susan Collins and Murkowski out of Alaska. So, we got to support Planned Parenthood. And then they turn around and so they get $600 million. They say, okay, we'll take $50 million, and you're exactly right. We're going to give it to the people that will then turn around and give us more money next time.
It's kind of like the what is the organization, American Federation of Teachers, that Randy Weingarten or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, she's 100% political. I mean, that's all she does. And she was in Ukraine this week.
Yeah, what was that all about?
She was in Ukraine. Concerned about
the teaching over there.
The teaching and the kids not having school, because I'm like, for 2 years you have told people we can't have school, it's too dangerous, and you go to freaking Ukraine and are more concerned about the kids in Ukraine than you are in the United States.
Bingo.
Gosh, you can't make it up.
Have you followed this race up in the triangle, Bo Hines and Wiley Nickel? Wiley Nichols, the Democrat, Bo Hines, who played football for NC State, I believe.
Yeah, I remember he played football at State, yeah.
And apparently it's a fairly neck-and-neck race, but the low-down tactics that Democrats are using, this guy Wiley Nickel, again, this is the 13th Congressional District, he has come out with an ad accusing his Republican opponent, Bo Hines, saying that he has faced 6 criminal charges and stood with rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol. You dig down a little deeper, and even the Wiley Nickel campaign admits, well, those 6 criminal charges were actually speeding tickets.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, first of all, that's an out-and-out lie. That's not just an exaggeration. You're not considered a criminal for getting a speeding ticket. You violated a traffic ordinance, but you're not a criminal. For them to come, it's just unbelievable what these. Now, the good news is it's because they're in trouble, and this is a sign of desperation. But it is totally frustrating.
So this is Wiley Nickel, that was born to wealth, one of the largest farm families in the Central Valley of California. Is that the same one?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it sure is. And he's North Carolina Senate. When you said the name, it escaped me, but my first thought was, gosh, that sounds like a guy that got some wedgies growing up. And looking at his picture, yep. He got some wedgies.
Wile E. Coyote.
But I'm just looking at his career here. Worked for Obama campaign, Al Gore campaign. His whole life he's worked for political campaigns, born of extreme wealth out of California. Got his law degree from Pepperdine, graduated at Tulane, and he's in politics.
Yep.
Typical Democrat Party resume.
Yep.
I mean, you can almost take that resume.
Exactly what you were talking about earlier.
You can you can take that resume and remove his name and put millions Democrats in politics across the country on it. It just kills me.
And by the way, just to let you know that there's no improprieties in our election process. There wasn't in 2016, there wasn't in 2020, and there won't be this year. Oh, but by the way, the Illinois Republican candidate for U.S. Senate who won the June primary in the county of Schuyler County, Illinois, her name doesn't even appear on the ballot that they're sending out for the absentee ballots. Doesn't even appear on the ballot. So, and this is against the ultra-liberal Tammy Duckworth. And another Republican who did not win the primary, a Peggy Hubert, does appear, but the person that's supposed to appear, Kathy Salvi, does not appear on the ballot. Now, my first question is, and it's an accident. Ooh, we're sorry. Why does it always happen to the Republicans? Do you ever see a story like this where the Democrats get screwed?
Absolutely never. And Illinois has got to be, and I know some people in Illinois, I know some people in Chicago, I know some farm families out in the rural areas of Illinois. But Illinois, politically speaking, in Chicago, has got to be the most corrupt place on the planet, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this.
How many of their governors are in prison?
Oh, it's like
it's a long list.
You're a governor one term, and 4 years later you're in jail. I mean, Kentucky's not much better, but you had a few of this in Kentucky too, and all Democrats, I think. But
Illinois takes the cake, though. They really do. I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a break because we want to play political trivia. 561-8255. Got a good prize package. Something extra in this particular little version of political trivia in terms of prizes. Give us a call, 561-8255. Your category, presidential fashions. A fun question. It'll be interesting to see who gets it. 561-8255. Political trivia when we get back.
Seconds on the clock. He hands it off. Finds a hole in the middle. Clear. Nothing but Brian, move! A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza. Better with Pepsi.
Empty lots at car dealers everywhere, except here. The selection you want is at Greenville Nissan. And during the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event, buy a new Nissan with financing as low as 0.9%. The versatile Nissan Rogue, the all-new Pathfinder, or gas-saving cars like Nissan Sentra and Altima. And yes, we have trucks. Buy the new Nissan Titan with 0.9% financing, or the all-new Frontier for $99 a month. Hurry to Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
It's your turn.
I'm on cloud nine.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
All right, welcome back in. Time for a little political trivia. 561-8255. I think we still have a line open if you want to call in and play. Your category, presidential fashion. Prize package includes a free oil change for your car or pickup at Dave Davis's East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep or at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A gift certificate from Fit for Life 24, including 2 free training sessions with a coach. A $20 gift card to Mucho Bueno for lunch or dinner. Mucho Bueno, real Mexican street food located in front of the Westbrook Shopping Center, US 70 West in Havelock. Also a $20 gift card to Gwendy's Goodies Bakery in Ayden. Delicious baked from scratch goodies. An Ironwood gift certificate and 2 tickets to the Ghost Walk of Newbern, which takes place next, I think it's the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. This is the 32nd year of Ghost Walk. It's a family-friendly fall event that combines spirits from New Bern's past with talented local volunteers and actors, historic sites, and a fun-filled creative environment. So a little bonus for this week's political trivia. Remember, if you or anyone in your immediate family has won recently, let 60 days pass before you play again. First up, Jamie from Greenville. Hi, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. You ready to play?
I guess so.
All right, here's your question. When Andrew Jackson showed up for his inauguration in early March in Washington, D.C., he decided to wear 2 pair of something. What?
That's weird. Socks.
Socks. Good guess? Not it. Good guess, though. Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
Give us a call back, 561-8255. Let's go to Thomas in Greenville. Hi, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas.
Okay.
Say again?
Okay. Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hey, how are you, Thomas?
Hi. All right.
Did you hear the question? I'll be
not
happy to
completely.
repeat.
I had a-
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
When Andrew Jackson showed up for his inauguration in early March, I think the year was 1820, he decided to wear 2 pair of something. What?
He wore, 2 pair of gloves.
2 pair of gloves is a great guess, but that's not it. 561-8255. Thank you, Thomas. 561-8255. That opens up a line. It's time for a hint, should we? Let's see who the next caller is. 561-8255. Who you got, Clark? Let's go to Nick in New Bern. You ready for a slight hint, Nick?
Yes, please.
All right. Your question. When Andrew Jackson showed up for his inauguration in early March, he decided to wear 2 pair of something. What? First hint, it is entirely possible that Jackson did not realize he was wearing 2 pair of this item. What do you think?
Would it be like cufflinks?
Oh, good guess.
That's a really
That's
good
a good guess. That was an age when everyone wore cufflinks, but that was not it.
March 4th, 1829.
1829.
Mm-hmm.
561-8255. Let's go to Shelley. Hi, Shelley.
Hey, Shelley.
Hi. Hey.
So, when Andrew Jackson showed up for his inauguration in early March 1829, he decided to wear 2 pair of something. What?
Well, the only thing I can think of, since gloves and socks were out of the question, could be underwear.
Well, it does get chilly in March in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, my mom always said take an extra pair.
Did she want you to wear an extra pair?
No.
That is not it. That's a great guess, but that is not it. 561-8255. Thanks for calling. Give us a call back. 561-8255. Let's go to Margaret. Hi, Margaret. You ready for another hint?
Hi, Tom. Yes.
Okay.
Up north, we always wore long underwear, not just underwear, long underwear.
Well, that was not it. I don't take that as your guess, since previous call just said underwear. So first hint, it's entirely possible that Jackson did not realize he was wearing 2 pair of this item. Second hint, he was not wearing 1 pair exactly where you're supposed to wear them.
How about shoes?
2 pair of shoes. Now, that would be interesting. I guess you one pair on your hands and 1 pair on your feet.
Well,
We'll wear
they
some
could
mud
be like
slickers.
moccasin shoes. He was an Indian
Oh, that's
fighter,
true. That's true.
and you
Yeah,
could wear
like
the soft moccasins over your regular shoes.
yeah, like when a little kid puts on a light pair of shoes and then or bedroom slippers and slips into the rubber boots.
Right.
Good guess, not it. 561-8255. Thanks, Margaret. Who do we got again?
Jamie again.
Jamie is back. Hey, Jamie.
Hey.
Did you Google this?
No, I did not.
It was hard to find on Google because
Oh, okay.
I usually double check, and it's not easy to find. What do you think?
Glasses.
Glasses is it.
That's it.
Congratulations. That is it. He was wearing a.
Place. I figured one on top of his head and one.
That's
on the
exactly what happened. He had one on his nose and one on top of his head. Where are you calling from, Jamie?
Greenville.
All right, Jamie from Greenville. Hang on the line. Clark's going to get all your info. Enjoy all those prizes, and Benny and I'll be right back.
Reserve your ride before it's gone at Greenville Toyota. A huge Toyota shipment is here. Camrys, Corollas, RAV4s, Tundras, and more. Reserve the one you want now. Plus, you'll always get paid to trade at Greenville Toyota. Hurry in. Click greenvilletoyota.com.
Pirate fans, it's a key American Conference showdown Saturday the 15th as your East Carolina football team welcomes the Memphis Tigers to Greenville. Tickets are as low as $35 in the upper deck and just $50 in the lower bowl. The 2022 Hall of Fame class will be recognized, including pro golfer Harold Varner and former Pirate quarterback Marcus Crandall. It's also homecoming at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, so tickets are going fast. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com to get your tickets today.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You know that moment when you realize your hair color is way past its prime? Or that you need a change and you hope it comes in the form of perfectly sun-kissed highlights? In a Fantastic Sam's, we offer real salon services at real people prices. Our color specialists can do it all. They make grays disappear, layer in subtle highlights, or help you finally find that perfect shade of red. All for real reasonable prices.
A huge Toyota shipment just arrived at Greenville Toyota, and more are coming. Reserve your ride now and get the Greenville Advantage with no-cost maintenance, oil changes, free loaners, car washes, tire rotations, and more at greenvilletoyota.com.
Ride and shotgun with your 5 o'clock drive.
The drive home should be a delight.
This is Tom Lamprecht with more news and views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
Congratulations to Jamie Vick from Winterville, North Carolina. She got it right. What is he wearing 2 pair of when Andrew Jackson showed up for his inauguration? 2 pair of glasses. One on his nose and one on top of his head.
Could it be that he just forgot that he had one on top of his
I'm
head
sure.
like I used to do?
I'm sure. That happens to me all the time. And that's why I buy the cheap reading glasses. You buy 3 pair at a time over at Sam's. And I just, they're not prescription, but they work, and I just keep buying them because I lose them and lose them and lose them. So
Well, I started using these Clickets a few years ago because, I would do the same thing. I'd go buy 10 pair, and then all 10 would be in one place instead of several different places.
Well, I've got them all over.
So I just
keep
them around my neck.
Office, home office, all over the place. Anyway, congratulations, Jamie. Yes, it was 2 pair of glasses. You mentioned this earlier in the program. A number of media outlets are reporting on can I say this, the pompous asses that are on the January 6th committee.
My liver could not take the liquor it would take for me to watch that. I'm telling you, I just know the way it is and the way it's going.
And listen, they're all going down in flames, especially the 2 Republicans. They're done.
Yeah.
I mean, Kinzinger is saying he's not running for re-election. Liz lost. So in her going out in flames of glory, Vice Chairman Liz Cheney said the January 6th panel has gathered sufficient evidence to make criminal referrals for several people, but conditioned that key testimony was outstanding. A key task remains. We must seek the testimony under oath of the January 6th central player. Cheney introduced a resolution for the committee to direct the chairman to levy a subpoena against former President Donald Trump for testimony and relevant documents. The House January 6th committee unanimously voted to issue a subpoena against the former President Donald Trump for testimony and documents. I mean, this is not a legitimate committee. It's not a legitimate committee.
No.
They have no authority. And if I was Donald Trump, I'd tell them to stick it where the sun don't shine.
It's a sham. A friend of mine brought up a good point last night. He said, they keep talking about how important this is for national security, get to the bottom of it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but he made up a good point. He said, then why in the hell did you take off a vacation in August? If it's that important, stay in session
the end of
and
the
get
world.
it done.
Well, it's the same thing with we could be having a nuclear war based on what is Mar-a-Lago. If that was true and we're putting the national security in jeopardy, why did you sit on it for weeks and months?
Yeah, if that was true, they would have raided with Apache helicopters.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago. I mean, good grief. You've got to be really, really intentionally ignorant to believe any of this stuff coming out of this committee. It is a sham.
Well, and these comments from Liz Cheney about, this is the end of democracy as we know it. What a bunch of BS.
No, it's the end of your political career as we know it, Liz.
I mean, wow.
Good grief.
It's really interesting how you have people at one point in life you think they're genuine conservatives, and at the end of the day, they just throw their principles out the window. Yeah, I mean, I realize that there are things that Donald Trump does that is not my cup of tea, but I mean, his caustic way of doing things is one thing. But when you're doing what Liz Cheney is doing, and you talk about trying to remove our form of a democratic republic, this January 6th committee has done far more damage than Donald Trump has ever done.
Oh, yeah.
Far more damage.
Their biggest concern is that Donald Trump exposed Washington, D.C., exposed the swamp.
Yep.
He made the people start to pay attention, the voters, where they have some power. And, I think it's getting better where people are starting to pay attention. In the past, they just ignore it because it's controlled by 2 or 3 in each party, really, and they just kind of volley back and forth, and they don't want to lose power. And they saw someone that came on board and said to heck with them and spoke directly to the people and didn't go kiss the ring. And presidents have to do that, and they didn't like it.
Yep,
What it boils down to.
Exactly. The geniuses on ABC's The View mocked U.S. Senate candidate Herschel Walker during today's broadcast, suggesting that perhaps he had brain damage. Now, they defended Fetterman. Mm-hmm. They went out of their way. Oh, he's healthy. He's fine. There's no problem. He can serve.
Joe Ben.
Yeah.
He called Joe Biden Joe Ben.
Joe Ben.
Mm-hmm.
He can serve. He's fine. And then they turned on Herschel Walker and said, maybe he's got brain damage. Now, may I just remind everyone, when you disagreed with Barack Obama's policies, not Barack Obama, but his policies.
You're racist.
You were a racist.
Yep.
And now these cackling hens have the chutzpah to come out and look at a guy like Herschel Walker and say, geez, you got, and again, cackling with their stupid laughter that Herschel Walker has brain damage.
Well, when I listen to them and some of the dumb stuff that comes out of their mouth, I mean, you could question the same about them.
Really?
Because they're the dumbest people in America.
Congratulations again to Jamie Vick, our political trivia winner. Listen, we're going to be off tomorrow. I'm going to be out of town for business. So does Benny, actually.
Yep.
So we'll join you again on Monday at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, all right, all right.
Quack.